Now, some people aren't too happy with the governor's decision. State Senator Shevrin Jones is one of them. He is live now on Skype. So, Senator, what is your reaction to all of this?
Well, Carly, I think it's unfortunate that the governor has turned this entire public health crisis into a political theatrics. For him to be at an event and looking for the applause when you have nurses and you have doctors and you have family members who have individuals who are in the hospital right now due to COVID. The governor has 22 million people within the state of Florida. And instead of him looking at doing an executive order to deal with unemployment, to deal with the crisis that we're dealing with right now, the state of Florida is the main state who has the most COVID patients within the country. Instead of him doing any of that, he's creating so much division within this state until it's unfortunate that we are in this predicament that we're in right now, to where even cities nor the school board can govern like the people who have elected them to do so.
Senator Jones, in the executive order, the governor is actually threatened to withhold state funds from any district that may try to enforce a mask mandate. Can he legally do that, first of all? And if he does, is there anything that you and your fellow Democrats or like-thinking lawmakers can do about that?
Well, the governor's executive order and him threatening the school districts to defund them if they do not comply, one is unfortunate. The only thing we can continue to do is raise the red flag of what the governor is doing to our constituents and to the community at large. And we also have to see what the federal government is going to do. Here's this fact about it. We know right now within the state of Florida, we have 17,589 new cases. We are on a 6-week surge, and we know that Duval County, we know that Miami-Dade County, we know that Broward County hospitals are bursting at the seams. And the governor is talking about defunding schools if they are trying to protect their individuals. Can we do anything, Elliot? We can't. The only thing we can do again is continue to raise the flag. But here's my hope. My hope is that everyone within the state of Florida, they see what is happening with the leadership in Tallahassee, and as they move forward, that they choose accordingly as we move forward. It's unfortunate, and truth be told, it's unfortunate that we have come to the point to play politics over people's lives.
Well, Senator Jones, we don't have a lot of time left, but really quick, do you think most Republicans in the legislature support the governor's COVID policies?
You know what? The funny thing about it, Carly, is that behind the scenes, a lot of my Republican colleagues, some of them don't agree with the direction that the governor has gone in. But yet and still, they have fallen in line, and they will do what the governor has asked.
All right, Senator Jones, thank you very much. Again, we should point out that what the governor is asking for goes against the guidelines of the Centers for Disease Control. Thank you very much.